Yo, Ziggy here, and I'm going to do something a little different on my channel. I'm going to bring you a fantasy football, series on my channel. I'm going to do a fantasy start and sit 'em. I'm going to cover the 4 main positions on your fantasy roster: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. Obviously, kicker and defenses, you can pretty much match up, so I'm not going to waste my time on those. And, I decided to do this because you see a lot of people putting out content like, pick'ems, for matchups or survival leagues and stuff like that. But I figured, I'm a big fantasy football guy, so I'm going to go ahead and give you my opinion on who should start and who should sit on some of those positions where somebody's coming off injury and stuff of that nature. So let's get started. Quarterbacks, who you should sit this week. Tonight, the NFL season starts, and it's going to be Cowboys against Giants, and the person you should sit right off the bat is Tony Romo. The New York Giants defense front 4 has owned Romo these last couple of seasons. I don't project him to have a good game, especially since Miles Austin's coming back of hamstring injuries. Des Bryant's also coming off of injuries. Felix Jones is not healthy, so DeMarco Murray's probably going to be the main focus on some of the defenses. And Witten's not healthy, so Romo's missing a lot of pieces, and on top of that, he's facing his nemesis defensively, so Romo should have a pretty bad game. I would not suggest starting him. So sit Romo. Also, you should sit Peyton Manning. I know he's been looking good on preseason, but he is playing against Pittsburgh. The Steelers have a very good defense. Manning is playing at mile high, and rumor had it that he had problems throwing to his right. You better believe the Steelers are going to know this situation, so they're going to be coming on full-on blitz. They're going to be forcing him to make throws. I project a bigger game for Willis McGahee instead of Peyton Manning, so I would not suggest starting Manning this game. He should have a good season, but just not this game. And last on the sit list, Andy Dalton. Dalton's playing against the Ravens. Same situation, Romo. You don't really expect much out of a quarterback against great defenses, and Baltimore certainly is projected to have a very good one. So I would suggest sitting him. Now, who to start this week? A lot of people wondering, is he healthy? Should I start him? Michael Vick. Absolutely start Michael Vick. He's been taking all the snaps at practice this week. He's ready to go. He's playing against Cleveland Browns, who does not have project not to have a pretty good defense. So Vick should have an outstanding game. Starting him with confidence. Josh Freeman, he's somebody that not many people are talking about. He had a disappointing season last year. He should have a very good game this week. I would suggest starting him. He has new pieces, Vincent Jackson, etc. So he should be good to go. And last but not least, the guy that has pretty much taken my heart on fantasy football, Russel Wilson. Start him this week. He's playing against the Cardinals. He should have a very good season. He has the pieces, the defense. I expect him to have a very strong output against the Cardinals this week. So Wilson should be your start also if you have him on your team and you have maybe Romo or Peyton Manning to make the switch with. Running back position. All right, who to sit this week? Adrian Peterson on the top of that list. I know he's been saying he's back. I know he's saying that he's healthy. However, you just do not want to risk any injuries to him. They're probably going to limit him to goal line situations only this week. I think they're going to work his way back slowly. I would say maybe by week 4, week 5 is whenever you could roll him out with confidence. Until then, do not start him as your fantasy number 1 or 2 running back. Maurice Jones-Drew is back. I suggest you sit him this week also, however. Kind of like a situation with Adrian Peterson that you don't want to rush him back. He's just now entering camp. He's probably not in the best of shape, so they should work him slowly. Jennings is going to get the bulk of the carries, I would believe. So Maurice Jones-Drew is not a great number 1-2 running back option at this point. And last on the sit list, Trent Richardson. Same situation, coming off an injury. He's supposed to be a piece of the future. They're not going to want to risk him, so I do not think, even if he's ready to go, that he's going to have a major role in this situation. All right, who to start this week? Darren Sproles. He's coming off an injury. However, Sproles has looked good in practice this week. He should be good to go, and you should have a lot of points on point per reception leagues with him. Toby Gerhart. Adrian Peterson, like I said, is not going to get bulk of the carry, so Gerhart will. I figure Ponder's going to be throwing a lot, but also probably check down a lot, and Gerhart should have a pretty big day on the ground and in the air. And last but not least on the run list, Ahmad Bradshaw tonight against the Cowboys. He should have a very huge game. No Brandon Jacobs there to take the goal line carries. Sure, David Wilson is there, but I think he should have a very good game. Wide receivers on the sit list tonight, Miles Austin. Same situation where I say that the nemesis, the defense is going to be king on anybody that's been hurt. Austin's been hurt. There's going to be separation questions. I wouldn't suggest playing him. On the Giants side, on the sit list is Hakeem Nicks. He's also coming off an injury, and his foot, and I think he had foot surgery, so He's probably not going to have a great game either. Separation issues also, probably until they, come back full strength. I would not suggest starting him this week. And last but not least on the sit list, Mike Wallace for the Steelers. He's coming back from camp. I think in the same situation like Maurice Jones-Drew, he's probably just not going to be full strength, ready to roll out there condition-wise, so I would not suggest playing Mike Wallace. On the stardom list, Stevie Johnson against the Jets for the Bills. He's always killed the Jets. Jets have a good defense, but he's always been able to somehow beat the Jets. He should have a good week again in week 1, so I would suggest starting him with confidence. Justin Blackmon is another guy I suggest you start this week. He should have a very good week considering that defenses might be keying on Lawrence Robinson. Jacksonville is probably not going to be able to run since they don't have Maurice Jones-Drew in the full strength. So I expect a lot of passes in the air, and Justin Blackmon's been looking really good so far. And last but not least, Kendall Wright for Tennessee. Kenny Britt's on suspension. Kendall Wright should benefit from it the most. He should have a very good week. Locker's going to be throwing the ball a lot, even though they do have CJ2K that's going to be doing good. I think Kendall Wright's going to have a big game also. On the tight ends list, obviously Witten, he's coming back from spleen injury. I'm not sure if he's, they're ruling him out or not, but even if he is ruled in, do not start him. I put him on the sit list. I would suggest you sit Jermaine Gresham. Obviously, Dalton's not going to have a very big game, so Gresham probably won't have it either. Baltimore's going to be keying in on all their pieces, A.J. Green and Gresham. And on the last of the tight end sit list, Dustin Keller for the New York Jets. Mark Sanchez has a lot on his plate against the Buffalo's improved defense, and he's going to be checking down probably, but Keller is having some hamstring issues that kind of crept up on preseason, and I'm not sure if he's going to be at full strength whenever he starts this game. On the must-start list on the tight ends, Owen Daniels for Houston. I think he's back fully healthy, and so is Schaub, and I think their rapport is great. He led all tight ends and receptions this preseason, and I think it will continue in week 1. For Tennessee's Jared Cook, also start him. Some of these tight ends that you might have, you're probably like, well, who are these guys? Well, Locker's been throwing it a lot to tight ends, and Jared Cook should be the beneficiary of that. And the last one on the list is Aaron Hernandez. Hernandez is having, a pretty good preseason. He got money from the Patriots. I think defense are going to be keying on Gronkowski, and Hernandez should have a pretty good game. I think in the goal line situation is going to be between him and Gronkowski, and that's going to make his fantasy value even more. So that's what I'm going to start doing, on this channel, is bring you a week, probably on a Wednesday or Thursday before a game, and give you my projections on who to start, who to sit. But this is Ziggy saying peace, and I'm out.